Lakers, it would have formed the ultimate super team, along with LeBron and AD. Damian Lillard has not been shy about his dislike of super teams. Dame took another shot recently at stars joining forces. Take a listen.
And it's become huge because it's sometimes the coaches and the front offices, they don't have as much, I guess, power as the players. You know, the players are so friendly now. I think in the past it was like, you know, Jordan probably didn't go out searching and trying to get guys to come join him. You know, it was like they was competing against each other. Now is, well, they got 3 stars on their team, so I know this guy and that guy. I'm going to try to get them to come to my team. So I think you see it a lot more now, where it's just players recruiting players is more powerful than a pitch meeting with the team. You know, that's just what it is now. So, I mean, it's a huge part of the game now.
That man just signed a $196 Supermax extension, $196 million, 4 years with the Trailblazers. You think he has a point, Shannon, here?
No. Skip, I was watching this program the other day, and the guy asked a question, and I thought I knew the answer. He said, do you know the greatest reason for animal survival? He says it's not size, it's not speed, it's not strength. It's adaptability. Dame Lillard has a 1980s mindset in the 21st century. Guys didn't move back then. You know, people like Joe Green would have never joined the Cowboys. Roger Staubach would have never played for the Packers when they had free agency, Skip. They couldn't. You see, now people move. You see, Dame said, see, you have to listen carefully to what he said. He says, and he was talking about, I think I saw it on the Jump the other day. He was on Summer League, but he was talking about, you know, guys, and he doesn't want to, you know, he don't want to go join a team. Let me ask you a question, Skip. If Kawhi Leonard calls up Dame Lillard, hey, say, bro, I want to come join Portland. Dame tell him, say, nah, Jordan wouldn't accept that. You think Dame Lillard turning down Kawhi? You see, also what Dame Lillard didn't mention, did you know Dame?
So you're saying he would accept that?
Oh, yeah,
if he came to him.
Right, okay. Right.
All right.
But he make, I ain't recruit. You see, what Dame didn't tell you about Jordan, Jordan took less than what he could make, so they could fit other players up under the cap. When last time Dame Lillard took less than the max? So what Dame Lillard is going to be is a guy that's going to make probably $400 million with 0 titles. He's going to be one of the richest players in NBA history with 0 titles. Nobody remembers a guy that made a bunch of money playing sports. Only if you won titles, Dame. And if you don't believe me, ask Kevin Garnett. I want you to talk to Kevin Garnett in another year or two, because he said, I should have left early. Earlier. Stayed in Minnesota. He wanted to grind it out. He didn't want, but you know what? At the end of the day, Skip, if you play a sport, it's about titles. I get it. And also, Dame, you gonna go around punching people in the eye? Because Jordan was knocking people out. Hit Will Perdue, the deck pole, little Stevie Kerr walking around here. Ain't been the same since.
He's 6'3", but go ahead.
He little old Stevie Kerr.
He is 6'3".
And Jordan swung on it. It swung on Will Perdue.
7 feet tall, Vanderbilt University. Woo.
Dame, it's a different time now. You're not going to win a title, bro. And it's going to be very, very interesting, Skip, to see this, how this plays out. Now, I want to know how much longer they're going to keep giving out these max contracts to Dame Lillard and C.J. McCollum with no championships dividends being paid on that. And they're going to have to make a decision. Be careful, Dame.
So I thought the last few days you have applauded the new school way of joining forces.
Yeah,
okay.
I got no problem with that. I'm just saying, and again, what bothers me, if Jordan didn't do it, it can't be right. Only Jordan did everything the right way. Jordan was the best and the worst thing that ever happened to the NBA, because he showed guys how to build a brand, how to become outside of basketball. But, man, Jordan didn't do that. Jordan, they say Jordan played 48 straight minutes, didn't drink anything. And you got guys not drinking water, Gatorade, or anything, because Jordan didn't do it. Stop thinking, Dame, you're not Jordan. So that's why he didn't. When you become him, you ain't got to ask get anybody else. But you're not him. So you better get some more help.
So I got to reread this quote from Damian because I just can't get over it. But I do respect the fact that he is staying put and he says, I want to do it here for Portland.
Right.
and he loves Portland, and Portland really loves him.
Russ thought that too.
Okay, I'm with you on that. But the quote is, players are so friendly now. I think in the past it was like Jordan probably didn't go out searching and try to get guys to come join him. No, he did not.
Right.
That would be way beneath his dignity. And then the next line is my favorite from Damian. It was like they were competing against each other. Duh. They were.
Right.
They were actually competing. It was blood, man. It was war in the basketball context. It was, no way do I want to join him.
Right.
I want to beat his you-know-what.
But Skip, the great players couldn't. Skip, you remember after his second year, Magic Johnson signed a 25-year contract for $25 million.
Right? I got it. But the point here is, now I'm going to sound really old school, but it's the God's truth. There was only one Michael Jordan when it came to killer will, just whatever those intangibles are,
Right.
that killer closer will.
Right.
Magic had it, and he was a one and only. Now, he had a lot of help, he didn't go recruited.
Right.
It just happened around him, right?
It's different now.
Okay.
Guys are putting it together as opposed to teams.
That is correct. There was one Larry Bird. You want to talk about killer will, and he was one of your favorites.
My
growing
favorite.
up. He was
Yes.
your favorite growing up.
Yes.
Again, he had help, and yet he didn't go recruit it, and there's no, you want to talk about beneath dignity, and he and Magic had a very respectful, barely friendly rivalry.
Right.
It took a while.
Yes.
But they wanted to, in a basketball sense, cut each other's throats,
They did.
right?
Yes.
And so now it's like Damian's sitting back saying, God, those guys, they were weird back then because they were competing against each other. Well, yeah, they were actually doing that. That's the league I grew up covering.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it worked.
Right.
There was no joining forces. It didn't start until LeBron said, I'm taking my talents to South Beach.
Skip,
right?
When you look at the greats, when we think about power forward, let's just take power forwards. The reason why Tim Duncan is the greatest is because what did he have that the other guys don't? Titles. Charles Barkley was phenomenal. People don't realize how great Charles Barkley was if you didn't see him play. Karl Malone, they don't realize how great he was, but they didn't win the titles. And guess who did? Timmy D. So he's the pantheon. When you look at these other guys, I mean, it's hard for me to believe, and everybody's like, well, Russell. But for me, it's Chamberlain, but Chamberlain does have titles. LeBron could not be the GOAT if LeBron didn't have any titles. That would be Larry Bird. It took LeBron a while to catch Larry Bird because Larry Bird had rings and he had leagues MVPs. Well, Dame, you're just going to be a guy that played, made a lot of money without these titles, bro. That's the way it works in sports. Sports is not, look, yeah, you want to make as much money as you possibly can. Money and memories is what you should get when you come to play a professional sport. But at the end of the day, we don't judge about how much money you make. We judge on whether or not you got those rings. And Dame, bruh, that's all noble. You can die on that hill. But you know what, Skip? What's better than dying on the hill? Not dying at all. That's the path I want to charter. So if it means I got to leave...
You'd rather be a live coward than a dead hero.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
In a situation like this, nah, come on, Dame. But it's going to be very interesting to see. Now, he just signed a, 4-year, 196,
okay.
Plus he got 2 years already left, so he can't become a free agent until 2025. It's going to be very interesting. Let's revisit this conference. We're going to be on the air, Skip. We're going to be on the air that time, too. But let's revisit it, say, like 2021, and let's see if Dame still feel that same way.
So, speaking of Timmy Duncan, his last 5 years in the NBA, he started taking $7 million and $6 million and $5 million and $4 million because he wanted...
He took less than the max when he had it. He had a chance to get the max. He took less.
What does Tommy Brady do up in Foxborough? I don't care. Just give it to me. Again, he's got a wife who makes a lot of money, but still, he's just saying, I don't care what you give me. Just give me this because I want a football team around me. Still never can figure out where they spend all their money, but I don't know. I don't think Bill puts it in his pocket, but you never know.
Skip, it would have been interesting to see if Larry didn't have Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Dennis Johnson, Tiny Archibald, Six Man, and Bill Walton, what he would have done. Or Magic didn't play with Kareem and didn't have James Worthy, Jamal Wilkes, Bob McAdoo. It would have been very interesting.
You know what they would have done? Figured it out. They would have adapted.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, you have to.
They would lift up average players into very good players, just the way Jordan did. And they would have won championships anyway.
But what Coach Auerbach and the team, the Dr. Buss and the guys that put these teams together realized the more great players you have, the better your chances are of winning. Now, I'm not saying that Michael played with Scottie Pippen. He's not as good as Larry Bird. He's not as good as Magic Johnson or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But he was a good player. Dennis Rodman, all he did was lead the league in rebounding like 7, 8 times in all 3 years when he's in Chicago. He's a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. So it wasn't like these guys were bad players. But Dame, you don't have a Rodman. You don't have a Bird. You don't have a McHale. You don't have a Kareem. You don't have a James Worthy. So how are you going to win again? Where's your Pippen?
How much pressure or expectation is on that team next year?
None.
Not much.
Exactly. Skip, that's Portland. We think about it. We was talking about teams yesterday in the finals. We talked about the Clippers, and we talked about the Lakers, and we talked about the Nuggets. We talk about Utah.
I leave Portland out every time.
Talking about Portland.
I leave them out.
Yes.
And they were the 4th seed last
Yes.
year? Okay.
They made it to the Western Conference Finals,
Okay.
and they're not even being mentioned.
They're going to win a lot of regular season games.